Hello, everyone. Welcome to a 10-minute sports report. My sound bites are not working again today. I was actually about 8 minutes through the first one, and then the camera cut out. It was bad, just content overall. So I couldn't do that to you guys. So I'm going to proceed without sound bites for this rendition of the 10-minute sports report. It is the summer solstice today. Fire Lord Ozai is at the height of his powers. For those of you that get the reference, congratulations. For those of you that don't, go look it up on the interwebs. I'm your host, Captain Boring. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe on YouTube, and follow us on Instagram at 4th and 1 Podcast. On our Instagram page, I will post a picture of the NBA's number one overall pick, or presumptive number one overall pick, Victor Wembanyama. He threw out the first pitch at the New York Yankees game last night. And I'm going to post a picture of his hand around a baseball. And just go take a peek at that. Again, at 4th and 1 Podcast on Instagram. It's great. It's awesome. Go look at that. And then come on back to this as we get rolling here for the 10-minute sports report for the summer solstice, June 23rd, Wednesday, 2023. Again, I'm just making up sound bites now. The Boston Celtics, Los Angeles Clippers, and Washington Wizards have engaged in talks and will probably put the nail in the coffin on a three-team trade that will see the Celtics acquire Washington Wizards star Kristaps Porzingis, and the Clippers will land Malcolm Brogdon, who is the reigning sixth man of the year. Porzingis, as in the framework of the trade, would opt into his $36 million contract for next season. He would go from Washington to Boston. Malcolm Brogdon, who won the Sixth Man of the Year, as I previously mentioned, would go from Boston to Los Angeles to play with the Clippers and give them depth. And the Wizards would receive Marcus Morris, Amir Coffey, and the 30th overall pick. The Washington Wizards are trying to reboot and retool this whole team. They traded Bradley Beal. They're trying to get rid of their stars. Basically, they're trying to tank to get next year's number one overall pick, it sounds like. Porzingis, who turns 28 in August, had his best season, 23 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, and a block and a half a game for the Wizards. He was the 4th overall pick in the 2016 NBA draft by, at that point, the Knicks, who then traded him to Dallas, who then Dallas traded him to Washington in order, because that just wasn't working between him and Luka. Boston now kind of gets rid of long-term contracts, and this allows them to possibly sign Jaylen Brown to a 5-year deal worth $295 million this offseason. However, this gives them lots of offense, and Kristaps Porzingis is not known for his hallmark on defense, and that kind of what hurt them in the Eastern Conference Finals against Miami. So we will have to keep an eye on this. The NBA offseason is the best offseason in all of sports. Bradley Beal already moved. Chris Paul already moved. Same trade. Kristaps Porzingis, Malcolm Brogdon already moved. The big stars always move in the offseason, at least one or two. Next on this list, probably Damian Lillard from Portland. It is noted, Adrian Wojnarowski has reported that if the Trailblazers use that number 3 overall pick and draft a player Dame wants out and wants to be traded. If they trade that number 3 overall pick for a veteran, then Dame probably stays in Portland. So tomorrow night, Thursday, it will be the 22nd of June, 2023. You're going to know whether or not Damian Lillard, who said he wants to be a Portland Trailblazer for life, but also is now feeling the age of time and wants to win championships, he's getting antsy. We'll have to see what he does. The Nuggets, who acquired some picks while they were in the NBA Finals, have acquired more first-round picks from the Indiana Pacers. They acquired the 29th and 32nd overall picks in Thursday's NBA draft from the Pacers. The Nuggets will send a 2024 first-round pick and the 40th overall pick in this year's draft to Indiana in the deal. So here's the deal. Nuggets championship window is wide open after one. They want to keep this going as long as possible. How do you do that? You get talent right now. Young talent in the building. Bruce Brown is a free agent. He declined his $6.8 million option for next season, and so they're looking to replace him, but then they will probably also look to sign him. But they need to get younger while also getting better at the same time, and how do you do that with draft picks? One of their last year draft picks, Christian Braun, the number 21st overall draft pick last year, was a rotation player and actually had a big Game 3 in the NBA Finals with 15 fourth quarter points. Peyton Watson, who was the number 30th pick in last year's draft as well, played sparingly as a rookie, but the Nuggets are optimistic that he will be able to fill in as a rotation player next season. Let's go over to baseball. I got some bad news for those of you who, like me, who are rooting for the Pirates because things were just going so well for them. The wheels were eventually expected to come off, and they have come off in a big way. They have now lost 9 straight. So after a 5-2 loss to the Brewers, they have lost 8-0, 4-0, and 8-3 to the Cubs. They've been swept by the Cubs twice and swept by the Brewers once in this 9-game losing streak. They are now 5 games below 500 and 5 games back of the first place. Wait for it. The Cincinnati Reds, who are currently the hottest team in baseball, and I will get to them in just a second. Checking in on our friends over in the AL East, the Baltimore Orioles and Tampa Bay Rays. They're actually playing each other right now, so I'm going to cover this kind of all in one. The Orioles won the first game 8-6 and got it within 4 games of first place. The Rays then won the second game 7-2 and pushed it back to 5 games. So Rays are still the best team in MLB baseball record-wise, 52-25. Baltimore is second or close to it at 45-28, and they sit 5 games back. However, Baltimore does lead the wild card standings currently, and they lead the wild card standings by 5 games over the New York Yankees. So stay tuned. It's going to be an awesome down the stretch run. The All-Star game is right around my birthday, which is in about 3 weeks. Now, switching over to the hottest team in baseball currently, and that is the Cincinnati Reds. They have won 11 straight baseball games. It started with an 8-4 win over the Cardinals, and then it went 4-3 over the Cardinals. Then they swept the Royals 5-4, 5-4, 7-4. That sounded like tennis. That's exactly what that sounded like. Then they swept the Astros 2-1, 10-3, 9-7. Again, sounded like a tennis. And then they swept the Rockies 5-4, 8-6, 5-3. They are now 1.5 games ahead of the Milwaukee Brewers. They are 5 games over 500, and they have the 5th lowest team salary in all of baseball. So let's go check on the wild card standings really quick. I updated you about this. If you don't win your division, you can still get in based on the wild card if you don't know how sports works. So Baltimore is leading the AL wild card, followed by New York, Houston, and Los Angeles. 3 teams from the wild card get in, so right now there's a tie. The Blue Jays and the Red Sox are a half game and a game and a half game back, respectively. In the NL, the second hottest team in all of baseball, the San Francisco Giants, have won 9 straight games and are 1 game up on the Dodgers and the Miami Marlins. So currently the San Francisco Giants, the Miami Marlins, and the Los Angeles Dodgers would all make the playoffs for the NL. The Philadelphia Phillies sit 2 games back. Well, that'll do it for today's rendition of the 10-Minute Sports Report. Again, I'm sorry for no sound bites. Sometimes it just doesn't like to work with us. There will be a brand new episode of the 4th and 1 podcast that will drop Friday, so go check that out. We're previewing the Big 12. We're picking winners. We're talking Texas, Oklahoma. Will they have senioritis before they exit? And we're going to go over each team's schedule individually, all in about an hour. So just listen to us on the way to work as we plug your ear holes with our annoying voices. I will be back hopefully also on Friday for another rendition of the 10-Minute Sports Report. Get you caught up on the NBA season. See if the Reds can extend their win streak. Maybe the Giants. See how the Rays-Orioles series played out. and we'll go from there. I will also kind of recap the NBA draft, which is tomorrow night on Thursday. Until that time, wash your hands, you filthy animals. God bless you all, and peace out. You get no music. You just get my voice as the last thing you hear before you drift off into the sweet abyss of nothing.